This is what really goes on with everything. You hear me say all the time, nothing is real. You hear this administration, though they are certainly complicit in it, refer to central casting for the electeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is everything in life, and they keep us so distracted that the everyday guy, who's the detective in this case on the other side, has no idea how curated everything is, and the few in power pull the strings and keep us distracted with #lemon. And it's fucking everywhere. The system's broken. Politics, education, religion, medicine, nothing, and I mean nothing, is what it appears. I can help people. So either get solutions or get off the team.
So I wanted to do something a little different today.
Be intelligent?
Touche.
No.
No.
Okay.
Someone doesn't want to be intelligent. No, don't want to be intelligent. The typical route we take with these recordings is I look up some news, some ideas, I get your opinion on it, but it inspired me yesterday when you showed me a clip from a movie.
Oh, fuck.
And it's crazy to me when we talk about so many of these things that you've been talking about, and some people might hit them one ear out the other, and they're like, oh, this guy is just fucking talking out of his ass right now. And they don't see the signs that are everywhere that you've been talking about. So I did some digging, and I looked up multiple clips through multiple movies that pretty much put all of these things into context and right in people's faces. And when I watch them, I kind of feel like they're laughing at us because they're just publicly putting it out there, and we just go on with our normal day as if it's not a big deal. It's just a movie. It's just a TV show, when it's staring you right in the face. So you said, oh, fuck. So you might not be happy about it, but we're going to air the clip that
it's a powerful clip. It's just when you are awake to these things, they are heavy. It's not just a clip anymore.
So this is from the movie The Fall of the House of Usher.
It was a Poe short story that got made into a series or a movie, and this monologue wasn't in the original short story, but it's super impactful.
So I'm going to play clips, and then I just want to hear your take on it, your thought on it, and we'll just take it from there. So...
When life hands you lemons,
make lemonade.
No. First, you roll out a multimedia campaign to convince people lemons are incredibly scarce, which only works if you stockpile lemons, control the supply, then a media blitz. Lemons are the only way to say I love you, the must-have accessory for engagements or anniversaries. Roses are out, lemons are in, billboards that say she won't have sex with you unless you've got lemons. You cut the beers in on it. Limited edition lemon bracelets, yellow diamonds called lemon drops. You get Apple to call their new operating system OS Lemon. Little accent over the O. You charge 40% more for organic lemons, 50% more for conflict-free lemons. You pack the capital with lemon lobbyists. You get a Kardashian to suck a lemon wedge in a leaked sex tape. Timothy Chalamet wears lemon shoes at Cannes. Get a hashtag campaign. Something isn't cool or tight or awesome. No, it's lemon. Did you see that movie? Did you go to that concert? It was effing lemon. Billie Eilish, OMG, hashtag lemon. You get Dr. Oz to recommend 4 lemons a day and a lemon suppository supplement to get rid of toxins, because there's nothing scarier than toxins. Then you patent the seeds. You write a line of genetic code that makes lemons look just a little more like tits, and you get a gene patent for the tit lemon DNA sequence. You cross-pollinate. You get those seeds circulating in the wild. And then you sue the farmers for copyright infringement when that genetic code shows up on their land. Sit back, rake in the millions, and then when you're done, and you've sold your lempire for a few $1 billion, then, and only then, you make some fucking lemonade.
So why does that scene hit you the way it does?
It's the perfect monologue playing out the script for everything today, right? The guy's like, oh, you know, what do you? Oh, you make lemonade. That's what 98% of us would say. This is what really goes on with everything. You hear me say all the time, nothing is real. You hear this administration, though they are certainly complicit in it, refer to central casting for the electeds, right?
Mhm.
This is everything in life, and they keep us so distracted that the everyday guy, who's the detective in this case on the other side, has no idea how curated everything is, and the few in power pull the strings and keep us distracted with #lemon.
And
And it's fucking everywhere.
it just keeps the masses reacting rather than executing or doing what they got to do to actually see what's happening in real time, right in front of your face, but you don't even know it. You saw it with the COVID-19 shot.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Like, celebrities were going out promoting COVID-19, promoting COVID-19, promoting getting the shot, showing pictures, hashtag I got the jab, or whatever it was. And we're finding out the shot might have not been the best thing in the world.
Yeah. That's putting it mildly, but yeah.
Now, you said keep people distracted from what's really going on. Now, there was a movie released in 1988. Looks like a terrible movie. Never seen it before. But it stars Rowdy Piper, and it's called They Live. Ever heard of it?
I think I have.
So there's a scene where it's about aliens and they live among us. But there's a scene. Well, exactly, right? And there's a scene where he has a pair of sunglasses and he's walking the city streets. He puts on the sunglasses, and the sunglasses are like truth-telling sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you.
They remove the veil, pretty much. That's what it is.
You like this part? Submit, stay asleep.
What's your problem?
And that's the alien that lives among us.
Right, and then when they find out that he could see them, they start calling in. Like, we got one that knows, and they come and try to get him. Like 12 scientists disappearing in the last couple of months that nobody talks about.
Well, this goes back to the theme of, not the theme, but when we talk about societal programming and how you say when you wake up to this stuff,
That's my life now.
it becomes heavy.
Yeah.
This scene, even though it looks silly on the surface, when you see it, it becomes heavy. I'm seeing you as that guy looking at all the signs, slowly starting to lose your mind a little bit.
You could go that path. And I think there's a lot of cases where that happens. Who's the guy that just killed himself? Wilcox. David Wilcox, who has been disclosing things forever and a day, talking about what's really going on. And you can see over the years, he gets more and more, frenetic's not the right word, but you could see he gets more agitated in his videos because it's fucking heavy. I see it everywhere now. It's hard to enjoy television. It's hard to enjoy any of that stuff. Social media. These are the dots, dashes, and lines. This is why one of the core modules in the mindset piece of the academy, which was, as you know, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth for me, was on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. This is what it is. When I make reference into that video about it can be used for bad, we want to use it for good in how we condition ourselves, our self-talk, mindset reframing, the door thing that you guys are doing now. All of that is about programming and using words, imagery for positive, but that's not what's really going on. Nothing is real. Nothing.
And it operates in plain sight.
In plain sight. You know, we talked about that video that you tried to promote.
Mm-hmm. I tried 2 today.
I tried one last night. That was just a video of us talking about the video.
Mm-hmm.
Denied. Talking about a video that had term limits. Can't promote. Talking about a video that had education reform. Can't promote.
I tried the one that we posted today, and then another one we posted maybe a week or 2 ago, and both of them couldn't do it.
No, if you weren't doing this, you would have no idea about that. These are the little data points and data sets for you, along with the other things that I try to point out, it seems like on an hourly basis, where you guys come back to me all the time with, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And it's like, you'll get to a point where, believe me, you'll believe it, because it's just fucking everywhere. And it's all designed to keep us distracted, keep us in a mindset of obeying, keeping us thinking that we are not incredibly powerful creators, all of us, that we all have incredible potential, paying our taxes, paying our fines, going the speed limit, do all these rules that never end, keep you from source. It's an existence. It's surviving and not thriving. It's everywhere.
Now, this is sort of, subliminal messages being hidden in plain sight, but we've also spoke about how the media in news or whatever, something bad happens. Okay, what's the next world event that's going to magically start to happen? What is it today that keeps you distracted? There was another movie in 1997 called Wag the Dog.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where they're literally putting a news broadcast of war to life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just how easy it can be for the news outlets and the traditional media can just keep you in fear.
Especially back then when the majority of the big anchors were CIA agents or sources.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Walter Cronkite, the father of news or grandfather of
Mhm.
news. Oh, yeah. All of them, all confirmed. You could look it up independently, CIA sourced. They all worked with the CIA. All of them.
And it just goes back to
It's fucking nuts. But again, why I feel like pardons in exchange for, like, we've continued to do this. We've continued to foster it. We've continued to say this is okay. And it's not okay. And there's the subliminal ones. And I don't want to get too fucking nuts here, but I'm gonna. I believe that there are rules. And there's a light and a dark
Mhm.
in everything. There's a light and a dark in us. I think that's healthy. I think that you have to embrace that side. And the light has rules and the dark has rules. And part of the rules are you have to give kind of a fair opportunity and not fully manipulate free will. Those types of scenes are everywhere in movies. I was watching Superman the other day, and I'm like, so much of what I'm watching now, it's like plays out right in front of you.
is it and let me not say is it hard because I know it's hard, but to the point where you can't even enjoy a fucking superhero movie now, Superman movie.
No, because I'm there's still a very passionate fantasy side to me, like the video games and getting lost in something I enjoy. But stuff like that is really hard for me to watch. That scene from the fall of House of Usher, I got emotional watching it the other day
Mhm.
because it's fucking heavy, and this is what we're leaving our kids with.
So you spoke about how we keep allowing this to happen, and it is our fault, right? Because we keep electing these people over and over and over again, and nothing changes. And this is not how the system was meant to be. This is not how the system was created, right?
It's not how we interpret the system was created. I'll go that far.
So I don't know if you ever seen this one.
My name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis? Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way. Well, the New York Jets. No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Uh-oh.
Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying
Yes. Let's talk about fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium have freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yet you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
That one has to hit.
It does on so many different levels because I saw so many things unpacked, but we're also packing a message in the veil of unpacking a message. And you talked about it's not how it was drawn up. And he's talking about an era where everything was great and everything was hunky-dory and we're wonderful. No, we just didn't know more. And our newscasters weren't newscasters. So it's hard to talk about something that you weren't living through and seeing and being a part of. But we are in an age now where everything is coming out. And with that, half of it's fake. So all the more reason to get centered and know what the hell end is up.
One of my favorite lines from that whole thing is the way to fix a problem is the first thing you got to do is realize there is a problem. Now, there's not many individuals out there talking about term limits, education reform to a scale that you're talking about. And you've mentioned multiple times that those two things are such heavy weights that you carry every single day that they need to get done. And he talks about in that clip about what level the country is at in literacy levels and education levels. And you've identified the problem. That was the first step. Now it's about fixing the problem. But there's so many steps that need to be taken to get there.
And so many distractions associated with those steps to ensure we never get to the solution. The only reason I zeroed in, and this became really obvious maybe a month or two ago on an Academy call when like the dots connected for Pat of like, why am I focused on education and term limits? For me, it was so obvious. I'm not normal. You know, I've got, through this AI platform, I uploaded all my Butcher Block rants and all my whiteboard sessions for the last 10 years. Like 15 or 20 of them were this, whiteboarding out what the problem is, right? That's how I think. I have to go and jot it out and circle and move and slide and erase and get to, okay, here's the issues we're focused on. Here's where the issues come from. Here's where the power sits. All right, that's the problem. And me talking about these things, it's difficult without the context of understanding all of these other little things that we're fighting about every single day in government get bottlenecked up here. And if you deal with term limits is the top of the pyramid. Term limits tied with bureaucratic rolling appointments and complete campaign finance reform. Until that is done, there's too much money, energy, and power to get to education. Once you break that, now education is on the table. And once you fix that, we're now ensuring future generations and the rest compresses.
And the reason, correct me if I'm wrong, but make sure I'm understanding this correctly, term limits need to come before anything because it keeps those individuals that have the power for the short period of time responsible for actual change and to live up to the words that they say.
It keeps them beholden to their constituents because they're not there forever. They're not there to get rich. They're not there for the next cushy appointment or job, all of which we cover in our term limits white paper. They're there to serve. It doesn't mean you can't earn a good living. I believe you should earn a good living. But you shouldn't go in and make $150,000 a year, and in 3, 4, 5 years, you're worth 25, 30, 50 million. And 20 years later, you're worth $250 million. It just don't add up. And I don't blame them. I used to blame them, but I don't anymore. Like, I have a hard time picturing me 20 years ago if I would have gotten into politics and not falling into that rut of thinking you're doing good and thinking that you're out there to serve your constituents, but you're not. 70% or 80% of the time of our Congress members and senators spent fundraising. That's fucking insanity. That is insanity.
And I think it hits you extra hard too, because one phrase I've heard you've been saying a lot lately is, I'm a finish line guy.
I am.
And the problem is that we always are talking about problems that we want to solve. And this is why you should elect me, because I'm going to work towards it. And then it's just, okay, now I'm in. I ran on that. I don't really got to get it over the finish line anymore. But where's the accountability piece? That's what led me to this clip from Bulworth in 1998. And it does a really good job. And unfortunately, what it does, it sheds a light on just one side, but this scenario is on both sides of the table.
So before you play it, let me ask you a question. Not the joking around that we do. If I was not happy with your work, 9 out of 10 things that you do, and every year you stayed here and got a raise, would you think you were doing anything wrong?
No.
There's an 8% approval rating and a 92% reelection rate. Accountability? What accountability? And how do you even fault them? They're getting reelected. That poll must be wrong. Because we don't fucking act. We don't fix it.
So,
because we get pulled into Democrat, Republican. That's it. We don't even pick our candidates. The whole process is curated. The whole thing on both sides.
And you saw that
We
with the last
think we're picking
presidential
our,
election.
well, that was a real anomaly, the last election, but we don't pick our candidates. The whole primary system is rigged from the beginning. All tied to money.
And that's why they say money is king.
Money is the root of all fucking evil. It really is.
100%.
It is the root of all evil.
Even though, as you know, one of my biggest fears is not having any, and that thought in itself is evil, because I'm going to let a piece of paper dictate the happiness in my life. It shouldn't.
And until you shake that thought,
yes,
nothing anybody does will change that reality.
Yep. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but I have actively been trying.
I know you. I know you are. And I bust your balls because I fucking hate you. But I know you are. And I know how hard it was for me to go through that process.
Yeah.
Years and years and years and years of work. It's hard.
Yep.
If I would have given you the Michael Phelps thing 2 years ago, you guys would have been like, what? By the way, super powerful exercise for people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a mindset thing that's been around for a long time, but Michael Phelps made it famous.
For context, because people don't even probably realize what you're talking about.
Yeah. When you walk through a door, what he was doing when he was competing in the Olympics, every time he walked through a door, he said something positive about himself. You don't realize how many doors you walk through throughout the course of the day.
Oh, I got to go into this meeting now. Fuck. Oh, I'm not prepared. Bullshit.
Positive. If you go into the bathroom, doesn't matter. It's positive, positive, positive. And what will happen is if you stay with it, and something that seems so simple to do, it starts to become a little bit difficult when you're going through 50 doors, 100 doors in a day. Though it shouldn't. It's just self-talk. Like, I'm going to own this room.
You talk to yourself all day, every day.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And what starts to happen is you'll notice as you're walking outside and you're not going through any door, you'll start thinking about the positive things you have to say because you've said so many things already today. And that was an aha moment for me when it happened. It was like, I'm running through 15, 20 different things that I could say next time I walk through a door. And I'm using the I am powerful. I am an inspiration. I am a great husband. I am a great father. I am proud. I am. And you just, like, your shoulders go back, your chest goes out a little bit. It's real. Those glasses are the filter I talk about, right? The brain is a receptor, and we have filters on them. And the more, they call it the veil is thinning. The more you lean into this stuff, the thinner the veil becomes and the more you see. And it's really important to be centered as that happens.
And I don't think, I'm trying to get the word think out of my vocabulary, by the way, because I feel like that's a word that centers around doubt.
Yoda. How many times have I heard you guys say, I'm going to try?
Yep.
What do I say? There is no try. That was in the movies.
Well,
it's fucking everywhere.
That's one thing.
It's everywhere.
Yes. Never a trier, always a doer.
What was the particles in the force that they talk about in, I think the first time they actually talked about it was in episode 1.
I don't remember.
It's the particles in the force that connect all living things, that give you access to all infinite intelligence. It's all real, and it's all laid out for us. But we're so worried that this mayor is going to raise taxes on this, and that mayor is going to incarcerate them, and it's like, what the fuck? We don't get to these core principles, and it's beautiful when you do. It just can become heavy.
Now, I just want to bring it back to, it starts with us, right? Holding people in power accountable, because we're so quick to complain that our elected officials aren't doing anything. But to your point, they're still in office. And whose fault is that? Ours. So I came across this clip, and I think you'd appreciate it.
We stand at the doorstep of the new millennium. Our obligation is to produce a little time and others, and at the same time restore its creative power, to reinvigorate our society, and bring about a rebirth of democracy. Any questions?
Nice. Good evening, sir.
Less is more.
Riots and civil unrest went down about 4 years ago. You promised us federal funding to rebuild our community. What happened?
Oh, what happened was that we all knew that was going to be big news for a while, so we all came down here, Bush, Clinton, Wilson, all of us. We got our pictures taken, told you what you wanted to hear, and we pretty much forgot about it.
Should he just say we're going to do
See what
we can't get health insurance, buy insurance, life insurance, Senate Bill 2720.
Well, because you haven't really contributed any money to my campaign. You got any idea how much these insurance companies come up with? They pretty much depend on me to get a bill like that and bottle it up in my committee during an election. And in that way, we can kill it when you're not looking.
Fred, when you say buy the book, what book would that be?
Isn't that obvious? You got half of your kids out of work and the other half are in jail. Did you see any Democrat doing anything about it? So be. What are you gonna do? Vote Republican? Come on. You're not gonna vote.
Mimetic.
I mean, come on, you can have a 1 billion man march. If you don't put down that malt liquor and chicken wings and get behind somebody other than a running back who stabs his wife, you're never gonna get rid of somebody like me.
Putting a comical spin on it, but mimetic theory shot at in a glimpse that nobody catches. So I'm doing all these things, but what are you going to do about it? Vote Republican? Those are the bad guys.
This is the world that we're in on both sides. And watching looking and reading off a speech, I was watching a clip, I don't remember who it was, a member of Congress or Senate, and I noticed they're not even pretending to talk from the heart anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their phone and they're reading off their phone in press conferences and when giving statements. If you feel it and you know it, you should be able to talk about it, right? We need to have our phone with a script. Like, what are we doing? But both sides are so fired up that anything that you say that's a little bit off the beaten path or a little bit out of the context that they think is acceptable, both sides jump on and half the country jumps on with them. And I think we're just at that point of like, hopefully, we need authenticity. Like, we need real people who have gone through real issues, not these curated perfect lives, which are not perfect. They're hidden and buried, and we're just learning, well, the rest of the world is learning about the Congressional Slush Fund for sexual assault.
Huh?
What? This is our taxpayer money. If I do that, I'm done. I'm in cuffs. I lose my business. I go to jail.
And then murdered in jail.
But these fuckers do it with impunity. And we keep putting them there.
And what you always say is that it starts with us, right? And do we keep putting them there because they're saying all the things we want them to say or all the things we want to hear? But the reality is we have a hard time even knowing who we are, what we want, what matters to us, what's important, what defines me. And that's why it's like hypnosis, right? You're dangling the carrot.
Not like NLP, properly curated, is hypnosis. Hypnosis is not what people think. Follow my watch. And I've done it. It's an active conversation, but the words and the path and the process are very purposeful to get you either to open up and unlock or to get you to think a certain way. If you know how to use those things and you're a massive marketing company, what are you going to do? You're going to sell your fucking product. Be that cattle, candy, cigarettes, liquor, or people, a particular group, right? They've mastered that, and it's not in the education system. I didn't learn about NLP. I didn't learn about any of those things in school. But when you learn about it, it's so fucking obvious to me why it has been kept out of all the curriculum, all of these things that we talk about. Because when you learn about it, you go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, the fucking horses here. We gotta make some changes.
Going back to figuring out who we are as a person being step one. I'll put an example into context so it's easier for me to explain. We had a conversation maybe 2 weeks ago about my wife. She's currently going to school, assistant principal, whatever. And you were like, is that what you want for her? I was like, no, I want to make her a stay-at-home mom. I want my wife to raise our children. He was like, okay. And you're like, well, is that what you want? No.
And is that
what she wants?
She wants.
And then I said, well, I think I want her to chase her dream and become an assistant principal. And you looked at me and I was like, Mike, nowhere in her dreams is she the assistant principal, right? Like, that's not who she is as a person.
How long are you together?
Dating since 2012.
Okay, so
married since 2018.
15 years?
Yeah.
You guys never had that conversation. You didn't know what her real dreams are, and she didn't know what your real dreams are.
Mm-hmm.
And I even caveated that with, She may think those are her dreams now, and you may think these are your dreams now, but until you look within, you really don't know. But even on the surface level, it didn't connect. Someone who you go home to, who I know you love very much,
Biggest pain in my ass, but love her to death.
but you idolize her as
Yeah.
you should. She's your
Yeah.
wife, and you put her on the highest pedestal next to God, as you should, and your kids. But that conversation never happened.
Yep.
Because we're busy, distract, go, do.
And
It's crazy.
But then I did have the conversation with her, and I was like, how would you feel if I was able to make you a stay-at-home mom? And she was like, I would quit tomorrow. Said, but you're going to school to become the assistant principal, get the raise. She was like, Mike, if there was one thing I could do right now that I would want to do is be able to wake up, drive my kids to school, pick them up from school, get them ready, spend every moment that I possibly can with our children. And I texted her maybe like 2 days later, and I was like, I'm going to make you a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how yet, but it's done, right? So I'm working towards that finish line, which I've told myself is done, right? And I want to be able to provide that for her. She's my wife. My goal in life is to be the provider.
You are providing that.
I am providing that. Yes. See, all the NLP, like it's so hard to merge off of it.
Matter.
But to the point that I was trying to make is so many people define themselves by where they work, what their title is, what clothes they're wearing. And you always catch when people say that shit and you halt it, right? And in a great movie, it's a quick quote.
So before you play that, you just said people identify by where they work. Blah, blah, blah. You went through a list. Do you clearly see what I'm seeing now in the problem with AI as these jobs decentralize?
100%.
People don't know who they are.
Yep.
And what's going to sound amazing and a universal high income is going to be a catastrophe.
People aren't going to know what to do with themselves.
And when you're lost and you have access to capital, everyone thinks everyone's going to be out of work and not have money. That's not what's going to happen. Everyone's going to have money. That's when you get into fucking trouble. That's when it's dangerous. You're a lost ship and things are tight, at least you're looking for a harbor. When you're a lost ship and the hull is full of rum and food,
who cares?
Problem.
And the idea, not that we talk about this, people, and I hear it when I try and talk to people about this stuff all the time, is there'll always be need for this, or there'll always be a need for that. So I don't have to worry about my job because AI can't replace it. The more you say that, the more you doubt the advancements of AI and technology and where we're going, the quicker that job will.
I can't think of a single job that isn't either replaced or looks dramatically different in the near future.
Yeah, Elon Musk outly say surgeons there's going to be no need for surgeons in 5, if not 10 years, because the Tesla Optimus or whatever it's called is going to be able to outperform any surgeon to times 1,000, right? And we've spoken on this so many times, but it's just kids today, their parents, me being one of the parents, say, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're still saying, oh, I want to be a firefighter. Oh, I want to be this. I want to be that. And so many parents aren't aware that the shift is here and it's coming. It's getting closer and closer real quick. And sooner or later, they're going to have to have that conversation. Well, they don't need firefighters anymore. They don't need doctors anymore. They don't need Pete's anymore. Because I don't know what Pete does. And to your point, it's so hard to understand where to go next if you don't know who you are and how to define yourself. So, again, just another example of something right in your face. The quote.
We're not in jail. You know how much money you make back? Not the car you drive. Not the contents of your wallet. Make fucking khakis. Prove you all singing all dancing crap at the world.
You're the all singing, dancing crap of the world. Now, on the surface, that could sound, comical in a sense, but you're, as you've been saying and trying to teach, you're all there is. You're the only piece of crap. You're the only dancing thing in the world.
And every
nothing
reality
else
exists
matters.
at the same time. And in that movie, it's two distinct different personalities that you think are different people, and it's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Every possibility exists simultaneously. There is no past, there is no future. There's what you create now, and what you create is a direct reflection of what you have inside. So let's keep people as far the fuck away from what's inside as we can and keep them distracted and bogged down and burdened and struggling and strife and war and famine and fucking disease and everything else that we can. Because if they ever looked inside, they would realize, I don't need anything or anyone else.
And people feeling defined by material things or things that really don't define you is all curated, as we've been talking throughout the episode. People want you to think you're defined by your money. People think you're defined by your job or what car you drive.
Swap lemon out. Nike.
Just do it.
Apple. These brands that we've become, Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking lemons.
Now, going with the theme that this is we're all there is, and we've spoken about this, how we feel like life is just one big show and everybody's fucking laughing at us because we're just part of the scene or whatever, or we are the scene. All right. Now, the end of the Truman Show movie is a real powerful scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's when he finds
the whole movie
is a curated television show.
Right on up to whatever his name was.
I forget the guy's name.
Sitting up in the top.
Ed Harris.
What was it?
Ed Harris is the actor.
Yeah, I forgot the character's name. Looking down on the creation in this completely curated experience. It's everywhere.
He's looking at it sort of like it was in that moment that guy's source. Right? And the end of the movie is literally about awakening from this.
When did it stop being his source?
When he awoke.
And just like that, his whole world changed because he opened the door at the end of the water against what was a fake sky. Whole world changed. Like this. Whole reality. That's what we're in. That is it. And when you get good with this, not only is it good for you spiritually, you know how much of a better deal maker I've become? How much better I feel about working? Can't even put into words.
Not a grind for you anymore.
It's not and that was my identity that I was proud of. I'm the most tenacious deal maker ever. I will run through every wall that it took a lot of time for me to recognize. I was looking for walls. There was
you wanted something to
clear
break down.
run, and I was running through walls left and right.
Just to break something down.
Just to break something down and show how difficult it was and that I got through it. The backpack thing that I talk about flippantly, it was such a moment for me. I just put it down. Never picked it up again.
That's all. is very hard for some people out there to.
I didn't even know I had a backpack.
Yeah.
Never mind that I had a backpack that I was adding a stone to every day.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it down. Don't pick it up. Try it. Try walking through every door and saying something positive. Try doing the declarations. Try working on core values. Try doing an exercise on finding your why. Why not?
And I think the problem with many things is people are always looking for a quick fix to their problems.
A quick distraction.
Now, the academy, it's not a quick fix. No. It's not something, oh yeah, you sign up, your life is going to be changed. No. The academy is something where you lay out all the things you've done to get to where you are today, but you're not. I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this. It's not the answers are in this 3-minute video, and once you watch it, everything is going to be solved for. It's watch it, listen to what I'm saying, do the work on your own, because you ain't going to get the answers within this 3-minute video. The answers are with the work that you do with the video. And it's a continuous process. You're still working through it.
Of course.
Because it's just a evolving journey.
If I had the ability, or anyone had the ability, to accept in their heart, wholeheartedly believe and understand what the subconscious really is and how it really works and what it really does, and you were able to strip, if you're 20 years, if you're 50 years of programming into something that's designed to build walls and insulate you from harm, damage, whatever you want to call it, all of that fear, you could make the leap. But it's such a foreign concept to people, and it was so foreign to me when I first heard it. I was like, this is fucking bananas, woo-woo banana bullshit. But I just kind of got to the point where it was like, maybe it's worth looking into, because, I was 40, 45, and I felt like I was 90.
I know you watch Gary Vee a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I follow Gary Vee, love his content. And one of the things he talks about a lot is people's fear to go on social media and just make the video. Talk about what's on your mind. Now, was it so hard for you as a real estate professional to take the turn from posting about real estate, interest rates, market rates, blah, 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 and start talking about stuff that didn't really fall within your known niche, right? Because talking about core values, manifestation, NLP, for your audience, your contacts that know you, they might be like, what the fuck is James talking about? I went to James because I needed deals done, and now he's talking about all this, wonky shit.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be, I don't want to say it had to be, was it a hard lift for you to say, fuck it, I'm just gonna post this
It
stuff?
was unimaginable before it ever was shared with you guys and manifested. It was in my mind and becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. And back to the backpack, like, no, I put those down. I'm not carrying weight anymore. So if I feel this is what I should do, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability without any expectation of outcome. Feels right. Feels like I should be sharing it. I'm going to share it.
It's not even about, everybody needs to know I'm the best commercial deal maker in the world, and it's not.
I rarely talk about any of that stuff. I rarely talk about the portfolio. I rarely talk about any of that stuff. The unfortunate reality is that success is what gives the credibility to most people. Why should I listen to this guy? Yeah. Because they're still centered in this physical, material world. But it is not central to me at all. At all.
Does it excite you anymore? Like the
creation part does. the taking something from this to what I see it, day one, me looking and then 2 years later, the broadcasters are there. The table is exactly where I saw it. They're standing where I saw it. The course looked the way I saw it. That excites me. I love to create, but not to create just for that financial gain piece of it. Like the philanthropic part is what is super exciting for me. And you know how liberating it is to not have fear anymore,
Oh, I can imagine.
to not have anxiety, not one drop ever. It's gone. It drove me to a lot of bad habits, including drinking and drugs for a long time as a mask, while I still grinded through and still performed at a super high level, but I was hiding. It's gone. Just gone.
6 years ago, you can't imagine yourself going home, closing your laptop, firing up your PS5 and playing Call of Duty.
Nope.
Because you had to grind.
Yep.
Because of the
I
fear.
took great honor in grinding. So what I found was I was creating longer work days than I needed to. I was creating more weeds to get snagged up in and then complain that I was snagged in them. I was creating more because I needed to be distracted by what was the only thing that really gave me value back to my 20s was I produced. Tell me I can't do something in business. Watch.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Pete did say the other day that he misses being here until 11 o'clock at night.
I'm sure.
Would really love back to go back to the days of just hanging out with his good old buddy James.
Yeah.
So-
We had some interesting.
At the house, it was more the house than the office.
At one point, it was.
What, the
Yeah.
house?
It was at the house at one point. At one point, it was in the office. You know, when my kids were much younger, we were in the office constantly. And it felt like my reality was what I thought. I gotta fucking be here Friday at 11 o'clock at night. Worked on Christmas, worked on Easter, worked on all the holidays.
You were going to outwork everybody else.
Yep.
One day we'll go back to those days, Pete. I do want to play this clip because I think it is a powerful clip.
It's this simple, folks. Open the fucking door.
Yep.
You can speak.
And you could see the hesitation to open the door.
Of course.
Because the second you open this door, everything changes. And why would you want something to change?
And this is your subconscious talking, right? Thinking it's protecting you from fear.
Mm-hmm. Everything is beautiful. Everybody loves you. Everything is great.
Who are you? I am the creator of a television show that gives hope and joy and inspiration to millions. Then who am I? You're the star. Was nothing real? You were real. That's what made you so good to watch. Listen to me, Truman. There's no more truth out there than there is in the world I created for you.
Doubt.
Same lies. The same deceit. But in my world, you have nothing to fear. I know you better than you know yourself.
Never had a camera in my head.
You're afraid. That's why you can't leave. It's okay, Truman. I understand. I have been watching you your whole life. I was watching when you were born. I was watching when you took your first step. While you watched you on your first day of school. The episode when you lost your first tooth. You can't leave, Truman. You belong here. Talk to me. Say something. Say something, God damn it! You're on television. You're live to the whole world. In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.
It's the feeling of liberation right there.
Mike, have you seen that movie?
So that is
Yeah.
a literal clip of the process. You know how many people get to the door and never open it? And then turning around and thanking the subconscious, all good, appreciate you, I'm done. You have to do that. You have to let it go. And then you walk through the fucking door. And I feel it. I'm connected and I feel it. That empathy, that emotion, that struggle that people go through, and I want to help because I was at that door for a long time. And before that, just like the movie, I didn't know there was a door.
I'd say 99.9% of people.
It's everywhere, Mike. The messages and the scenes. I believe Hollywood directors are all channelers of a greater intelligence. They're in tune, some for good, some for bad, but they're in tune to something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right out there for us to see. You just got to take the step.
That's why I wanted to show the clips, because we always talk about it, but there's signs that people overlook all the time.
Everywhere.
And as I'm going through these scenes, some of them, the first time I saw them was when I was prepping for the show. And I'm like, oh.
Everywhere.
So, pretty interesting stuff. Petey, what do you got?
One thing.
Where's the North Star, James?
One thing is how you said liberation, right? So something similar, I guess, or related was that someone said the reason the Statue of Liberty is called Statue of Liberty is because liberty, and it's in the ocean. Liberty from maritime law means temporary. Like the Navy or whoever gets liberty to go do what they got to do, but they have to come back. It's temporary. That's why it's liberty, not freedom. Why is it the Statue of Freedom? It's the Statue of Liberty. But I don't know if that's a stretch or not. But
I don't even understand the question.
No, I understand the question. I just don't know enough about the history and the origin of the words and how it's used in maritime use. But it's whatever you make of it. It's that simple. It's the value you assign. Imagine when you get to that door, if you're so programmed and so trained that when you get to that door, you go, I'm powerful. I own every room that I'm in. I'm the best AI software developer in the world. I'm the best deal maker in the world. I'm unstoppable. I can't be beat. I'm pure love, pure spirit. You kick that fucking door open.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah. The rest is
Valued history.
But it's the first step too.
I don't even want to know what's on the outside of that door now.
Yes, you do.
You do, but butts are for pooping. Butts are for pooping. It's a good way to inform people that just because you walk through doesn't mean the work is done.
It just changes. When you're centered and you walk through, it's not work. It's just what you're doing.
I like that. Good stuff.
Yeah. You still suck.